Antioquia la más educada. Gobernación de Antioquia.
It is quite a pleasure for me to say thanks. Thanks to the IHS Alumni for the incredible award that you have given me. I am thankful on behalf of the team that with me led the transformation of the city. On behalf of the city, that wonderful Medellin that has been striving, showing that things can happen in our lives and the society can be transformed. Let me tell you a little bit about our history. About 13 years ago, a small group of people, 50 people to be precise, we made a decision, and the decision was we are going to get involved in politics, recognizing that politicians are the persons who make the most important decision in our society. We came from very different backgrounds. We didn't like politics, the way it was handled. But then we decided that we couldn't be just waiting to see what would happen, waiting to see if somebody would listen to our ideas, and decided to move on into a world that we didn't know, politics. That was 13 years ago. And we decided to create a civic movement, an independent civic movement in the city of Medellin, and we had a purpose. We were going to win the mayor's position in the city. We were going after power, and with that power, we wanted to transform the city of Medellin according to the ideas that we had, the dreams that we have had for such a long time. At the beginning, people would laugh at us, saying that it was impossible to defeat some extraordinary political machineries just doing what we did, which was we walked. We walked throughout the city, we visited all the corners, all the neighborhoods, and we got in touch with people, showing respect, getting involved with what happened at the very basic level of citizens, and we managed, after all this work, to get the city in our skins, in our hearts, in our heads. And that was the crucial step in order to succeed, in order to win the election in 2003, in order to comprehend what was happening in Medellin, so that with that feeling that we had, with all the things that we studied, because we studied very careful, we learned from many other experiences, but we came up with our own answer to the three problems that we wanted to solve. The first problem that I wanted to solve was inequality. We live in a very unequal society, inequality among people and inequality in the territory where we live. We were going to fight violence. I don't have to explain how much violence has cost us in Colombia, but in Medellin in particular. And we were fighting against the culture of illegality that has very deep roots associated with the explosion of narco-traffic in our society. So, knowing the problems that we wanted to solve, with the knowledge that we had, with the relationship that we established with citizens throughout the city, we came into power. And we came with a model in order to work on those problems and to come up with the society that we want to build. And of course, we still have a long way to go, but we have opened up a very different door in the development of Medellin, and we showed that many things can happen when we get together, when we put together principles, consistency, coherency, that after all, when you add them up, becomes trust. Now, we knew perfectly well what we wanted to do. We had no previous experience in the public sector. I myself had never had a position within the public sector, but we assembled a wonderful team of people that were committed to those ideals. And once we got into power, with the trust of the citizens of Medellin that gave us a huge amount of votes saying, go ahead and do what you were saying, we began working in our city. We knew very few things, but we knew what they meant. For example, We knew that we were going to build a new way of relating to public space. Violence, for example, splits up society into pieces, pieces that don't communicate. Many times when you are afraid, you are trapped in a sector of the city and you wouldn't move. We weren't citizens after all, because we had no relationship between many sectors that made up the city of Medellin. So we knew that the public space would be a crucial tool to get together once again, to defeat fear, to get into a space where we all be equal. We knew that perfectly well, and we knew how to do it. Again, another point that was crucial in our work was understanding what it means to make sense out of the following sentence: the most beautiful thing for the humblest people in our society. That meant that we were defeating a paradigm that said, whatever you give to poor people, that should be plenty because they have nothing, and then whatever you get to them, then they should be thankful. We decided that we were going to build those public spaces with the most beautiful quality, beautiful in all possible senses, that if we did that, we knew that it would address a crucial issue in order to transform a society, to respect people, in a word that I like to emphasize, to recognize the dignity of the human spirit, the dignity that we all have independently of the place where we were born, the color of our skin, whether we are a man or a woman, independently of how rich your family was. And we knew that we had to build around education, understood in a broad sense for the 21st century. It would bring into the public offices concepts such as science, technology, culture, entrepreneurship, innovation, and we will put them together because with those concepts, when we brought them to our society, we were betting on people's capacities. And that's crucial. You recognize dignity, bet on capacities, and that's the key point in order to get people involved to transform a society. In that context, we came up with a wonderful urban transformation program. We went throughout the city. We built the most beautiful buildings that could be built. But those buildings were not just architectural objects, were the result of a political process, of a social process. So whenever we built something, people would have participated in the construction of that new space. And we were able to translate, to explain to everyone what it meant to get together again, what was the meaning of public space in order to transform a society according to the three problems that we wanted to solve. Within that context, with the group of people that we had assembled, brilliant people, committed people, we managed to come up with the urban integral projects that, roughly speaking, meant to certain sectors of the city, we will put together all the tools necessary for development. We will put them in a space so that people could see in their lives that things can change. And whenever we went in there, we brought, as I said, tools so that every single city could use them, could find a place, could find an opportunity to develop their capacity. And that was a crucial point. In that way, we went throughout the city, we knew the city, we knew where we had to go, and we came up with a wonderful transformation program for the city of Medellin. We built some buildings that today, to our delight, are recognized all over the world. But those buildings were associated with education, science, technology, culture, innovation, and entrepreneurship. People saw that they had the talent and they could develop, and they would be living in communities that would be dignified by the way we were interacting with them. That's the crucial point of what we have done in Medellin, a wonderful city, a city that I like to describe as a woman that is beautiful, intelligent, smart, provocative, seductive, but has plenty of scars due to what we have lived through many years associated with violence. But that city, that Medellin, whenever you open up the door of the opportunities, when you bet on the quality of the people that live in the city, then it can transform itself in a wonderful way. That's our Medellin. That's what we have done. I wish to thank you for recognizing our city, our people, understanding, as we describe when I finish as mayor, with a sentence that I think captures what we did. We went from fear to hope, and that's crucial in order to transform our society. That city of Medellin is today an example in many aspects. We still have plenty of problems. We have not solved the original problems that we wanted to solve, but we have been working on that. After I finished my period as mayor of Medellin, came Alonso Salazar, who continued the same path. And we have shown that the dreams can come true, things can be done, and we can improve the quality of our lives. Today, we have our mayor, Aníbal Gaviria, who is taking part in the forum, the World Urban Forum in Naples, and he will tell you how the story that we are writing continues. But let me say once again, thank you very much. I'm very proud as a human being. I'm very proud as a member of this society that can stand in front of the world and show that we can be extraordinary people. And Medellin is an extraordinary city. To finish, let me ask you to celebrate the next World Urban Forum in Medellin. We will be very happy to have you here, to show you what we have done, what we have learned. And we have learned from many people all over the place. And we will be extraordinarily proud and honored to share with you what politics is all about and how a group of dreamers in Medellin managed to advance deeply the transformation of a society. Thank you very much. We will be waiting for you here in Medellin, in Antioquia. Now I am the governor of Antioquia. Our mayor is there, and you must be sure that you will have a wonderful time if you come to visit us. Thank you very much.
Antioquia la más educada. Gobernación de Antioquia.